Should I eat babies while I do this? Let's see what these are all about. Wow, they're more powdery than I was expecting. Take a look at this. They're that's a baby. They are better than those discounted tarts that I had last night. So we're off to a better start today.
Good, glad to hear it.
So yeah.
Yeah, where are we?
We're here. These fine gentlemen at the Forbidden Pit.
Who's that? Who we got here?
We got Ant-Man up here doing the chiropractic work on this beautiful Forbidden Dreadnought. And then we've got Seth in the back there crushing it on the pedal rebuild. Yeah, these guys, they mean business, as you can tell. And then over here, we've got this absurd piece of machinery that we're gonna run you through all the parts and that kind of thing, and also the kit that we've got strapped on there. These are weird, man. I don't know if I can eat more of these. You wanna try one?
I don't know. So far, your track record doesn't really inspire me to try any of the things that you've bought so far.
Yeah.
I'm striking out. All right, what do you want to know? Should we start from the front or from the back?
Let's start at the front.
All right. So at the very front here, leading the way, we've got slick tires. We've got a Schwalbe Marathon on the front and the back. And then on my back, I was carrying my other wheel set with my race tires, which are an Eddy Current and a Big Betty, also from Schwalbe. And all those wheels that those tires are mounted to are WeAre1. On this one, it's the Union front and rear. On the race wheel set, I've got a Strife on the back, and then that's the downhill rim. And then we've got a build from Fanatec, so we've got DT hubs in the back, Hope hubs in the front, because why not? It's a 200 millimeter dropper, fully slammed in a large size Dreadnought frame. And then we've got a nuke-proof saddle with a special low stack so that I can have that full height dropper and have my seat not be too high with it slammed all the way in the frame. So optimized. Fox 38 with a scratch stanchion for good luck, probably. Yeah, and then we've got our nice little jank groundkeeper fender that color matches everything.
Thank
matches
you,
the frame.
Keeley, for making that happen.
Yeah, and then race face stem, one-up bars, race face grips, Hayes Dominion brakes, and then we've got a Fox shock to match our Fox fork, but the stanchion is not scratched on the shock, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got race face cranks. We've got the budget Dior pedals because they have a steel spindle that I can't bend. That's a pro tip if you keep bending your pedals. And then we've got the steel idler pulley from North Shore Billet. We've got the soon to be released downhill chain guide and the mud fender thing. And then Drivetrain.
Do you swap your downhill chain guide out to like a touring chain guide for the touring portions of the trip?
No, I don't. Yeah, and then Drivetrain, up until like 2-3 days ago. How many days have we been here, Dan? 3?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I was running the downhill Drivetrain, the 10-speed downhill cassette, and the middle of the night, right before leaving, I like fully intended on running that downhill Grupo because I had gotten really used to it, and then I freaked out and I was like, I can't do it. I can't pedal that hard of a gear up all these hills with the bags. And so I went to the shop, to Fanatec, and picked up, wow, it looks like I have like cocaine from those babies. Anyway, a little bit of grease too. This shirt is never gonna be the same. Anyway, I got really distracted.
I do want to hear about this shirt before we're done.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Anyway, Drivetrain, went to Fanatic, got some GX11 speed, which is a nice step up in range from the old 10-speed downhill group set. I think that'll do the trick. And it's new, so it shifts good, which always helps. Yeah, then...
Yeah, what's in your bags?
Yeah, so food,
Okay,
shelter, clothing.
cool.
Yeah, and then got my Camelback here, some water, got a quick draw camera in the bag here in case I need to get a video of Dan videoing me.
Little Panasonic GX85.
Exactly, this is the GX85, and then that goes back in here pretty easy. And then we've got water bladder that can be in there. Also, we've got our Jank pump holder for our 1-Up pump, which we also have the 1-Up tool with also the Jank tire plug add-on. Got all the things in one spot. In here I have, on this upper bag, I have an entire thing of Nutri-Grain crunchy bars. Clip that back in there. And then, yeah, back here we've got my full face and knee pads and bottle cage all strapped on to this bag here, made by Loam Equipment. All the bags are made by Loam Equipment in Bellingham, Washington. And in here we've got an Outdoor Research helium bivvy, a Climate like ultralight sleeping pad, and my old crappy sleeping bag that I wasn't afraid of getting really dirty on this trip. And but it's doing the trick. We've got my Smith mainline helmet here with some custom paint that describes how we are going to be for a majority of this trip. Thanks to Dario, my roommate, for that artwork there. And that, of course, is an atmospheric river rat. Shout out to the atmospheric river rats. And yeah, I think that about covers everything. Up front, we've got the special bike bag that the entire bike flew in this front roll, and then it converted into this setup here. So here, Dan, if you want to come around here and see, this bad boy actually is the bag that my bike flies in as luggage. So as far as I can tell, that's kind of a unique part of the bike packing setup that I haven't seen in many other places. And yeah, then I've got like 3 kits, 1 pair of street clothes, and 2 pairs of gloves, 3 pairs of socks, and puffy coat, a sweater, and a wool hat. I think that about does it for the month.
Now back to this shirt. Is that like you seem like a pretty glass is half full. Actually, that one looks completely full.
In fact, yeah.
That seems to fit your sort of MO.
Yeah, well, okay, I went through, because you only have like 3 shirts that you might bring on a trip like this, and I wanted to like make them unique, or I don't know, I just wanted to mess with them, so barf all over them, I don't know. And so put Jank on here. This is confusing because it looks like a pocket, but it's not, and so I wanted to fill it with something. But then at the last minute, I also added my favorite high-vis cold turkey run shirt. So I don't really know. Like, I don't know why I picked the shirts that I picked, but I did. And they're all really technical apparel.
If there's one thing that you do know so far, what might it be?
Don't hit your dropper post when you have the seat bag. That I know. It goes straight into your tire. It's like a handbrake. So we're learning, you know. I've got a one-up dropper lever that I love, and I have to turn it out of the way and like get it out of the way so I can't hit it when I'm touring. Yeah, and that kind of sorted the problem.
Groovy.
Only happened once. And then of course, the gnome has to be there. If it wasn't, I'd get lost, and I can't mountain bike without the gnome. It's been on every mountain bike I've ever had, so. Yeah,
all right.
That tops the whole build off.
Cool.
What am I forgetting? Anything?
No, that's it.
That's it.
Shout out to Schwalbe Marathon tires.
Yep.
Eric's gonna win this race because of these.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna race on these.
The high vis reflective strip.
Yep.
They're great.
Cool.
A lot faster rolling than like a Magic Mary.
Yeah.
What do we got in store for today?
I think the bags are coming off, the gloves are off, and then we're gonna maybe try and ride some trail, get a feel for something that's not on the course, because today the course is closed, and then some people are track walking, which is cool, but I don't think that I would learn anything from that, so I think instead we might check out that scree slope over there or something like that. Free ride is here. There's scree fields. We can see them in the distance.